Magical May. January, February, March and April carried caution about what you can sow. May most certainly doesn't. In today's video, we shall tell you about the 13 seeds that we shall be sowing during the month of May. It really is magical May. The sun is out, the days are much longer, and you can begin not only to sow whatever you want, but can also transplant. However, there are a few cautions that need to be marked along the way, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later in this video. Start the month as usual with the succession staples. These will include spring onions. At this time of the year, we favour a variety called Ishikura. It works really well for us here in our no-dig Norfolk garden over the summer months. Lettuce. You can be sowing more lettuce. If you keep on top of your sowing, you'll never be without lettuce through the summer months. For us, it's time to be sowing chicory. And of course, your radish. Especially at this time of the year, they will realise their harvest really, really quickly and add a nice, crunchy, warm taste to your summer salads. Also, it's time to succession sow things like Calabrese, your cauliflower like skipper, which we grow, and the last sowing of your Primu cabbages. These will realise their harvest during August for us. Last month, we began the sowing of our autumn vegetables, and in particular the brassicas, and that continues into May. These will give you your harvest during the second half of the autumn months. For us, it will be autumn giant, absolutely gorgeous cauliflower, and the Savoy cabbage, best of all. But that's not it for the brassicas. It's also when the window opens to be sowing your seeds for your winter crops. These will crop between December and March of next year. In a previous video, I alluded to the fact that you didn't need to be sowing things like sprouts or purple sprouting broccoli in February and March, like so many of the seed packets tell you to do. One of the reasons we don't actually sow then is that you can see there are many plants in here and there is only so much space. So why sow something that is not really going to make a huge amount of difference whether you sow it in February or whether you sow it in May? For us, May is the time when we sow things like our sprouts. We shall be sowing, again, the variety Trafalgar. It works really well for us. Lovely big buttons, and they're ready by November. Sprouts are a fantastic crop when you're looking to feed yourself all year round. They hold on the plant really, really well. And from that November harvest, they will continue all the way through until February. It was only late February, early March that we actually pulled our plants up. So it's a really, really long harvesting period. Purple sprouting broccoli. Now, May is a really good time to sow this. They don't need to tie up your plots all year. If you sowed this back in March or April time, you're going to find that those plants are going to need to go out very, very soon. And they will just sit there in your plots, doing not very much. You don't get the purple sprouting action until much later on in the year. If you sow it now in May, you don't transplant it until June. That means that you can either interplant it between other plants, or they could replace another harvest that you will be getting in June. We favour 3 different varieties. We grow Rudolph, which can some years for us begin its harvest in late December. It's usually January. And then early sprouting broccoli, which is February through March. And then the lovely Claret. We have this in harvest right now. And it will continue harvesting right the way through the month of May, just when the hungry gap is at its worst. I can't think who it is now, so please forgive me, but I did get 1 or 2 comments last sort of December time when I talked about the cauliflower triumphant. It's often known as the Christmas cauliflower because it becomes ready in December. And I got lots of questions saying, when do you sow this so that you get those harvests round about Christmas time? Well, it's now in May. We should be sowing ours this month, and once again, we shall have these amazing white cauliflowers second half of December. You could make 2 sowings of this, one in the early part of May. That will give you your December harvests. But this will also harvest through January too. So if you do another sowing right at the end of May, you'll get these cauliflowers in January too. To ensure that you have cauliflowers in April and May, we grow 2 varieties. One is Aylesmere. We've grown that for many years now. And that generally gives us a harvest next April when we sow it in May. The Oreo, and you saw us harvest one of the Oreos last week, which is now ready. We're right at the end of April now. You sow those in May, and then you get the harvest just like you saw me do last week, toward the end of April and through the month of May. The cabbages that you've been seeing us harvesting just lately, they're a variety called Wintersa. And by making a sowing now, you will have those cabbages ready to eat from February onwards. Now, winter cabbages, in particular Savoys, they hold really well in the ground. So you'll have a 2-month harvesting period. You don't need to harvest them all at once. But this has worked really, really well for us. Now, I wouldn't ever want to be without kale. This was overwintered, and we're enjoying picking this right now. It won't be in here for much longer because the melons will actually go in this centre patch. But while it's here, we shall be enjoying it. But making a sowing of your kale now means that you'll start to enjoy that during late summer through the autumn months. You'll take a little break and not do as much, but then as we go through winter and into early spring, it will reinvigorate itself once again. Just keep picking the outer leaves and it will keep reproducing new leaves from the centre. It's a superfood, kale is, and does you really, really good. But the great thing for us and any of you out there that want to be able to feed yourself for the majority of the growing year, you get to harvest that for a really, really long period. The early part of May, that's when we look to sow our runner beans and our climbing French beans, as well as the borlottis. Some of you may have sown them already. I'm certainly glad I didn't and decided to put them out there in the patch, because for the last 2 nights, we've had a good -1 or 2 frost. They certainly wouldn't have liked that. There is never any hurry to sow these seeds. Once the temperatures are right, these will get away really quickly, and you'll see really no noticeable difference between something you sowed in mid-April to early May. These plants do not like damp or cold weather. The weather was to suddenly change during the first week of May and become quite cool. They'll just sit there and sulk. They won't really want to be doing much whatsoever. So there's nothing to be gained in sowing these really early. But if you haven't sown yours yet, first week in May, that's the time to sow your French climbing beans, your runner beans, and your borlotti beans. We sowed some swede seeds right at the very end of April. And for me, I like to do 2 sowings a year. So at the end of May, I shall make another sowing. Mrs. W loves swede. So do I. But, it's something that we really like to grow. But the thing is with swede is that it can often go quite woody if it's left in the ground too long. By making 2 sowings of this, you get one in early autumn to enjoy, and then one a little bit later in autumn to enjoy. I like to harvest ours as soon as I can see they're ready and put them into storage, just to save them going to that woody state and not quite so enjoyable. I said earlier in the video that there are still some cautions. For us, it involves those warmth-loving crops, which include things like tomatoes, aubergines, cucumbers, peppers and chili peppers. The ideal time for these is when nighttime temperatures are as close to that magic 10 degrees as possible. Things that are below that So just lately, in fact, we've had frosts here for the last couple of nights. And, for the next 2 or 3 nights, it's only going to get to about 4 or 5 degrees overnight. These plants don't really like that. They do much better when it's much closer to that 10-degree temperature. All that will happen is they're unlikely to die because the temperatures are cooler, but they'll sit there and sulk and do absolutely nothing. And you'll continue watering them. They won't be accessing the water that you're giving them or the nutrients that are in the soil because they know they don't really want to be growing. That leads to weak plants. Weak plants equals diseased plants. That's when you could lose them. So you're far better off to try and wait until those temperatures get much closer to that 10 degrees. I can see that as we get into next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and into the early part of May, our temperatures are set to be around 7 or 8 degrees overnight. So that's a good time then to plant them out. If you're watching this and you've already planted your warmth-loving plants out, there's a good tip from Frank that he said on a couple of videos back where he needed to get some of his plants out, but he's actually put a cloche over them to try and negate the cooler temperatures, and he really did have cooler temperatures. But if you can, just hold off until those temperatures reach that magic 10 degrees. Like with the beans, there's nothing to be gained, but there is everything to lose. Once the temperatures are ideal, these plants grow extremely quickly, and it won't be long before you're enjoying those amazing harvests. So there's what you can be sowing during the month of May. And the only caution was just those warmth-loving plants. They're not called warmth-loving plants for nothing. They need to go out at the right time. For those of you that don't have undercover growing structures and you want to be growing your tomatoes, outdoor cucumbers, June will be the month of that, and we'll give you a reminder when we do our What to Sow in June video. All of these beds will pretty soon be full to bursting. But by making the sowings, we've suggested in May, you get to a point now where the sowings start to diminish, but the transplanting really gets into top gear. May represents a time when we will have made our last sowings for things that we want to eat during the summer months. And it begins the crossover period where the things that we're sowing really from May onwards, they will be things that will feed us later in the year and into next winter. If you want to feed yourself for as long as possible, we aim for all year round, then you need to be making these sowings. Otherwise, these plots will all be empty come August and September. If you like this video, do give us a thumbs up and please do share it. If you've found some of this information really helpful, share it to any gardening groups you belong to. It really helps myself and Mrs. W reach other people and spread our message that, you can grow food. You can grow it all year round using the no dig method. And also, while you're there, do make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because as we go through May, June, July, there is much to do. And although we always upload on a Thursday, very often you'll see that there's another video that comes up on a completely different day. And that's because we want to get that information out there to you. Some of you, of course, you may only now be beginning to sow certain things. And that's because you live in a different gardening zone, using a different climate. Not everybody is as fortunate as us to garden in a 9A zone. So if you are wondering what you could be sowing, I have a whole playlist of everything that we've sowed from January all the way through until now. So why not watch that video next?